this is Melissa from the Yarn Barn, and today let's talk about dye migration, also known as bleeding. So what is it? It's when dye that starts out on one yarn, and then when you're washing it, usually, occasionally it happens when the fabric is dry or the yarn is dry, but that's pretty rare. Mostly it's during the washing process. Dye moves from typically a dark color to a light color where you don't want it to be. And it can make some people anxious about using saturated colors, especially reds or black with a light color, but it doesn't have to. Dye migration is something that you can anticipate and to some degree control. And if you can't control it, at least you can deal with it. So let's talk about those aspects. So first of all, probably a smart thing to do if you're using a yarn that is a cotton or linen, any cellulose fiber, or a fiber that is a regenerated fiber like rayon or tencel that starts as a plant material but ends up as one of these regenerated fibers. It's a good idea to just test and see if you're likely to get any bleeding. And so it's super easy. Just get a paper towel or Kleenex, piece of toilet paper, get your yarn wet and put it on the toilet paper or Kleenex and just see if it leaves color. And in this example, it has left a small amount of color. So it just tells me I just need to be aware. You might see dye in the wash water, and that's normal. When dyers, whether it's an indie dyer dyeing a hank of yarn by hand or a commercial dyer dyeing hundreds of cones at a time, to get a saturated color like this or this or this, they have to use a lot of dye, and not all of it might wash away in their rinsing process. So sometimes you're just dealing with a little bit of extra dye on the surface of the yarn, and it just needs to be rinsed away. So how do you do that? There are products you can use that make it easier, but it mostly comes down to washing technique. But first, let's look at those products. So we sell two different products that help make this easier. One is called Synthrapol, one is called Retain. And both of them are designed to prevent bleeding, but they do it in two different ways. So Synthrapol washes away unfixed dye. So it gets it into the wash water so you can rinse it away. Retain does the opposite. It fixes unfixed dye. So instead of getting it off the fabric, it actually causes it to bond to the fabric. So they both deal with bleeding and preventing bleeding, but in these two opposite ways. Both of them are best used with hot water. Retain for sure, they want the water to be at least 140 degrees. Synthrapol, they don't give a temperature, but the hotter the water, the better. So these are great for using with kind of durable fabrics or fabrics that you're not super concerned about shrinkage. Might not be the perfect solution if you're doing a delicate rayon scarf, for example, and you're worried about how it's going to react to the heat. So in that case, you can bypass these and go on to just using really good washing technique. Now there is a third product that I'm not super familiar with. They're called color catchers, and they're sheets that you throw into the wash, and they catch pieces of fragments of unfixed dye in the wash water. I've never used those, so I can't really talk about how well or poorly they work. But I do know that there are weavers who swear by them. So if you're in the laundry section of your grocery store and you see that and you're concerned about bleeding, you might pick up a box and give them a try. But regardless of what method you use, as far as product goes, how you wash the fabric can make or break the bleed or not bleed. So the issue is that water in the fabric is how the dye moves around. And so if you let the fabric sit wet, that's when you're most likely to get dye moving to where you don't want it to be. So if you're washing by machine, as soon as that cycle stops, get the fabric out of the washer and then get it into the dryer if you're using machine drying, or get it flat in a single layer with a fan blowing on it. I say single layer because if you have a folded piece of fabric, that inside where the two layers are touching is going to stay wet longer than the outside. And if they're touching, that means the dye could move from one layer to another. So don't fold it, let it be flat, and then get a fan on it to just get the water out. If you're hand washing, you might see dye in the wash water, and that's normal. You don't see it in the washing machine because you're not looking, but you do see it when it's in your sink. But don't panic, you just need to rinse it away. So just rinse until the water runs clean, then squeeze out, don't wring, but squeeze out the water as much as you can. And then when that's done, get out a towel, lay the fabric on the towel, roll it up, and press out the water. So again, getting the water out as much as possible and as fast as possible, that stops the dye from being able to move around. So if you're hand washing, unroll the towel, take the fabric out, and then get it again hanging or lying flat, single layer with a fan on it to get it dry. Now there's a third method too. Madeline Vanderhoot is a wonderful weaver. She's a columnist currently for Handwoven, and she recommends when you take the fabric out and it's still damp to use a hot iron to dry, to heat set and dry the fabric. And that heat from the iron will help set the dye, and then the heat also just gets the water out. So I haven't done that, but I have enormous respect for her. So if she says it, it's a good solution. Now, it's good to stop between washer and dryer to just make sure that there hasn't been any bleeding that has happened in the washing and not been rinsed out before you put it in the dryer. The heat from the dryer, just like the heat from the iron, can set dye that has moved to the wrong place and is where you don't want it. So when you take the fabric out of the washing machine, have a look at it, make sure you don't see anything that looks like it has bled, and then you can put it in the dryer. If you do see something that you don't like, don't panic. Just put it back in the washer and wash it again, and give it a second pass on getting that unfixed dye off the fabric. Now, what if you didn't follow any of these helpful tips and ended up with a disaster, which has happened to me? So I wove this many years ago and machine washed it, didn't look at it when I put it in the dryer, and it came out pink and red. So fortunately, the dryer was not high heat. And so I had a little bit of wiggle room there. So I didn't panic and I washed it again. And this time I used Retain. And it's not perfectly white, but it is so close to white. And compared to the Pepto Pink it had been, I'll take it. So if you haven't heat set the dye once it's bled, you still have tons of flexibility on what to do next to defeat the bleed. So I hope this has helped make you feel a little bit more confident about mixing maybe some really intense colors with something that's white or natural. You don't have to worry about bleeding if you know the right technique for washing.